jail is all about. You see, jail is like Jello pudding. No, actually, it's more like Kodak film. No, actually, jail is like a new coat. It'll be around forever.
What's the difference between me and you? What's the difference between me and you?
I'm so gonna get struck for this.
Come on, little fella, you like a jump rope. What do you think candy is made out of? Pokemon. Pokemon? No, actually, candy is more like Kodak film. See, here I go, down the slope. Oh, I'm going zip-zop, zoom-a-da-bop. It's okay, take your time. Do you remember what he looked like? I had an uncle named Stewie, and he used to sell bicycles. What you got there? A big, stupid doo-doo head.
Hello, everybody. It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Happy Tuesday. Glad to see you guys on. I know my hair looks like a mess. The humidity is going to be outrageous from here on out. We got a heat advisory tomorrow. Whew. Yeah, wait. I mean, in fairness, we've had nothing but rain. And rain, and more rain. All this week. My lawn really needs to be cut. I'm seriously scared I'm going to get a letter from the city, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to take a look at least 2 courtroom videos. Again, part of my goal of catching up to things since I've been away from the cruise and then being sick for a good chunk of last week. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Good. We're gonna see what happens here. No, it's not gonna be about Eric. I mean, I'm almost done. I just almost don't even want to cover Eric at this point. It's so tiresome. Oh, the cats are doing good. My eek still demands my attention at every waking moment. Serana is still fishing channels on definite hold. Oh boy, that's not good. Serana is still stealing small objects and dropping them wherever she feels like it. Yeah, it's all good. All right. This is from Judge Stevens. This is not a sovereign citizen. The next one will involve a sovereign citizen, though. I'm curious about this.
We call cause numbers 23-41343 and 23-CR580. And the defendant is Desmond Harper. And then there's a new case or 2.
Three, Your Honor.
3 new cases.
Yeah, Your Honor, that's great.
Cause numbers 24 CR84, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 85, unlawful possession of a firearm by felon, and 24 CR86, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So 5 total cases and 3 new cases and 2 motions to revoke probation, correct?
That's correct.
All right. The defendant is welcome. Bring the
Yeah,
defendant
John.
in, please. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Harper, if you'd be so kind, take a seat right over there. Thank you.
Well, why I'm sitting down for, sir?
Right over there with
Well,
Mr.
I'm saying, why am I sitting down? I'm asking a question.
You don't want to sit down?
No, it ain't. That's not what I'm asking. I put in motions. I gave you petition for release.
Yes, sir.
Because of delay.
Yes, sir.
I'm still doing, I did a speed trial with case law.
All those motions I've reviewed, they are denied.
You can't
We're ready
deny
for
it, sir.
Yes, we can. sir.
No, you can't. They gotta go to Austin.
All right, so already we got this guy back talking to the judge. Awesome.
No,
And
that will be
no.
done
With
after
case
these
law,
hearings.
with case law,
That would be
case law.
done.
No, you not gonna sit up here and tell me that you're gonna tell me you're gonna violate my motherfucking rights, nigga.
Whoa, whoa, what the, oh man, oh no. Oh, oh god, yeah, you see Judge Stevens look his head, I'm sorry. What did you just say? Oh no. Let's
You give a fuck. I'm finna sit up here and tell me that you gonna tell me you gonna violate my motherfucking rights, nigga. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. I don't give a fuck about you, none of y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck is you talking about? This is my motherfucking life, white boy, you Egyptian pharaoh. Cause
wait, Egyptian pharaoh? Oh god, is he? No, that doesn't even make sense. Why did he call him an Egyptian pharaoh?
this law right here tells you, or federal congressional enactments authorizing or empowering any of the defendants named here to the place detention, detained on parole.
Unless he may claim to be a Hebrew Israelite, maybe. Hitchbot, thank you for the $5. Yeah, probably.
With no apparent reason at all to cause plaintiff to be detained on the pretext that he might be convicted for the new offense, then sick he will always be in violation. Motherfucking a parole takes from plaintiff the presumption of innocence and just violates the 14th Amendment. All right, here, bitch. I'm not doing none of that. All right. So give me out of here, nigga.
You're taking outside.
Yeah, bitch ass nigga.
Go back to the
fucking pharaohs. Fuck y'all.
Go back to the
Fuck you pharaohs. Yeah, give me about your courtroom, bitch. Yeah, nigga.
Pharaohs.
What you gonna do, nigga?
Just make sure.
What you gonna do, nigga? Bitch.
Make sure that the speaker is on so we can hear. Mr. West, you made sure we took care of competency matters earlier, didn't we?
Your Honor, I was just appointed on this case like 2 days ago, so.
Do you know anything about this?
And I've got all discovered from me and Mr. Boyd to talk. I know about the facts of the case. I know about the details. I spoke to my client a little bit. I know that at one point he was evaluated for competency and was found to be competent at one point. But I
don't care how clear of a head he is. Anyone who talks to the judge like that is flat out incompetent, in my opinion. No, you can absolutely be competent to stand trial and just be an asshole, a contemptuous asshole. Like I don't buy that.
Well, there's a competency evaluation back in December. And we did that because the similar actions that he displayed here in vulgarity, obstinance, anger, and raving lunacy type statements.
I mean, the only way I could see him saying that is probably referencing him calling, I guess, the white judge and the white defendants and the white bailiffs like pharaohs. I'm pretty sure like that's might be where he's getting at.
Or similar to what we caused Dr. Ed Rapon, licensed psychiatrist, to evaluate the defendant, who submitted a report December 9th, 2024, that states that the defendant is competent to proceed to arrest.
Yes, guys, I know that the pharaohs weren't white. I'm speculating at the reason why he's calling them pharaohs is he's a member. He claims to be a black Hebrew Israelite, and the Israelites were enslaved by the pharaohs, the Egyptians. And so he's claiming, and so that's where I think he's getting the idea, like they're the slave owners, like they were the white folks were the pharaoh slave owners. That's the logical chain I'm building based on that insane statement, because that's the only thing I can think of why he's calling them pharaohs, unless he is genuinely batshit insane. That's the only thing I can think of. He's a black Hebrew Israelite, and that's why he's making that connection.
Resolution of his legal issues. Is there any reason why you feel like we need another report at this time?
Your Honor, due to the fact that he is very uncooperative and not willing to work with us, even when I was talking to him, he's not wanting to move forward with doing anything. He's just ranting. I would argue, I know Dr. Pines found that he's competent, but I would suggest that he's incompetent due to the fact that he is unable to assist his counsel in moving forward with this trial.
Yeah.
Or this hearing and or these trials coming up. So I would request to have it evaluated again, but I'll leave that to the court. The court's had more experience with them than I have. I've just only been on the case 2 days, so I don't have months of experience like y'all have with.
And Your Honor, this is his third or fourth attorney. This is.
It doesn't have anything to do with Mr. West. I understand that.
Your Honor, I just meant, I think it's its way of stalling and keeping this case. He, in the underlying case that he was placed on probation for, he contacted the witness, tried to keep her from testifying. That's why he was given a deferred, because we couldn't get her. He's done the same thing in this case, contacted her from the jail. There's nothing on those jail calls that suggests that he's incompetent in any way. He carries on normal conversations with his mother. He doesn't get his way, and he comes in here and thinks he's going to delay the proceedings, which he has several times now, because he knows we have.
That's where I'm getting at. This guy, it's either an act or he's just openly, defiant and against authority, and it like any other SovCit.
Have a hard time getting the complaint.
But once again, I would prefer
Andrew.
Dr. Rapon, since this was 6 months ago, Dr. Rapon follow up with an evaluation.
Well, when we won't be able to get the complaint at, sometime in the future. And I
know, but once again, we could have had a hearing, I guess, earlier, but 6 months have gone by. Mr. Boyd, can you pay attention, please? Would you be so kind? Just don't. I mean, that's just like what I just had to deal with him, turning your back to me.
I was looking at Mr. Larry. See, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do on that.
Well, what we want to do is whatever way we handle it, we want it to be a secure decision that is not reversed. I want to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. What is the problem in having another evaluation at this time? I mean, I think Dr. Rapon could make it happen within 48 hours or so, but where do you see a problem?
I guess just my idea is that he acts like this every time, the difficulty in then scheduling a.
But I know, but how many times have we, at the end of the day, how many times have we had this motion to revoke probation hearing set for a hearing? Is this the third time?
I think it may be the fourth, where he acted out at least 3 times prior to this, and first for me. So that's just what I'm concerned with, is that I know we're very busy in here, and that it may take. Let's say it take another 6 months to get to a hearing because of.
Why would it be? Yeah, I mean, if now he's got our attention, again, we know. It's just. I think, do you remember the dates of the other hearings? We need to have dates so she can pick up the record. So I can look at the record of the times. And I'm not showing in this when hearings were held or attempted to be. I see where there were some resettings for a particular date, but there's nothing that shows what happened on those dates here.
The other than the one where we get the memo to the jail.
Well, here's the deal. It is as well is that's the most important thing is what do we do with proceeding with a hearing with him not present in the courtroom? Because his presence in the courtroom is volatile.
Whenever I hover the mouse over this screen, it does that. I hate it, but there's no way of turning it off.
I've remembered this over and over again. So what do we do, Mr. West and Mr. Boyd?
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna.
Since they have a right to be heard.
I must keep my position that he needs to be evaluated because he's unable to effectively work with anyone, much less me.
What do you say, Mr. Moore?
Your Honor, the Ninth Court of Appeals had a case very similar to this, in which an individual kept trying to delay the proceedings. Again, there's not a jury here. I think that was part of the argument. It's not influencing a jury in any way. If that individual is giving, the individual is given 2 or 3 opportunities to come out to behave himself. He did not. He was then placed in a holding cell where he could hear the proceedings, and it continued.
Sure, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
From that point on, and the court held that that was.
How does he confer with his attorney?
If the attorney needs to ask him.
How does he confer with his attorney? Anybody know?
If the attorney needs to ask questions, the attorney can go and stop the proceedings, go back and ask a question of his client. But
Stop doing
if
that.
if you disrupt the court so that you cannot hold the proceedings, otherwise you're voluntarily absent yourself from the proceedings.
Okay.
And then,
I think he was obstreperous.
yes, Your
We
Honor.
weren't even on.
Okay.
I want to say that was the January.
Okay. So 7/31 of last year and 3/19 of this year were the 2 hearings for MTRPs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you be some kind of? Well, those right now.
All right, that's basically it. I thought he was going to make a reappearance, but I guess not. Obviously, not surprising. I think it's going to be an open question whether or not it's an act or this is really his personality. I'm not so sure about declaring him incompetent. I think it's just a matter of him being openly defiant with the court, and it's more of an attitude. Because I think the prosecutor made a good point that, you know, when he's not talking to the judge or is in court, he's lucid. He's talking very normally, casually with his mom during his prison phone calls. So it's clear that it's on him. Oh, hi, Vegas Valley. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, bro. Glad to see you on the outside. Let's go to the next one we had. Where is it? Ah, here we go.
Certain statutory allegations that have been made against me, but I cannot and do not admit to understanding or accepting the jurisdiction.
Oh boy.
Next case, State of Kansas versus Sydney Taylor Lesley, 25 CR 250. Good
Yes, Your Honor.
afternoon, Miss Lesley. Miss Lesley, you're charged by way of information on or about May 21, 2025 in Butler County, Kansas, with interference with law enforcement, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. Count 2, same date and location, no proof of insurance, a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Same date and location. Count 3, no driver's license in possession, an unclassified non-person misdemeanor. Though, then count 4, same date and location, failure to register vehicle, and unclassified non-person misdemeanor. And Miss Lesley, do you understand the charges pending against you?
I comprehend the alleged charges.
Ah, yes, she comprehends. All right, we're in for a treat. All right, I like it. All right, we're on a good start. We're off to a great start.
Thank you, Miss Lesley. Miss Lesley, you do have the right to counsel if you cannot afford an attorney. Pardon me?
Excuse me. I was going to say that I comprehend the certain statutory allegations that have been made against me, but I cannot and do not admit to understanding or accepting the jurisdiction of this court over
Okay. Of course, she had more to say.
my person or the subject matter, absent proof of corpus delicti and a verified
Corpus
complainant
delicti!
from an injured party. To do so
Injured
would
party!
constitute a waiver of fundamental rights, which I explicitly refuse to waive pursuant to KSA subsection 60-212 in the doctrine of special appearance recognized in Kansas jurisprudence.
Special appearance. Subject matter jurisdiction.
Okay.
Okay.
You do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. And Miss Lesley, are you currently employed?
For the record, Your Honor, just to start from the beginning, I, Sydney Taylor Lesley, appearing specially and not generally in propria persona, sui juris, as a living woman and not as a legal fiction or corporate entity. I reserve all rights without prejudice pursuant to
legal fiction. Name drop. Corporate
KSA
entity.
subsection 84-1-308 and UCC 1-308. Let the record reflect that my appearance today is under explicit protest and duress and solely for the purpose of challenging jurisdiction and preserving my unalienable rights as secured by the Constitution for the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Kansas. And Your Honor, before these proceedings advance further, I must respectfully challenge this court's jurisdiction in toto and move for immediate dismissal of all charges. I hereby invoke the burden shifting doctrine established in State v. Shepard in 2009 and State v. Seams in 2004, which places the affirmative burden upon the prosecution to establish by sworn non-hearsay allegations within the four corners of a valid charging instrument that every element of the alleged offense and my commission thereof
this $5 super
has
sticker.
been properly established. The threshold matter of jurisdiction must be adjudicated prior to any other proceedings. As articulated in Ex parte Young in 1908 and recognized by the Kansas Supreme Court, jurisdiction is the fundamental prerequisite to all jurisdictional proceedings. The legal maxim ex injuria just non autora, law does not arise from injustice, applies to these proceedings in their entirety.
Okay, and the court finds that Miss Lesley is appearing as a sovereign citizen before the court, and the court.
Yeah, Deacon, the four corners rule is a rule of contracts. It's a common law rule involving contracts, but as you know, in sovereign citizen land, you know, everything is a contract. But I appreciate the judge is like, it just triggered her. As soon as he said sovereign citizen, it triggered the shit out of her. I don't think with the $5.
Once again,
I object to any of that derogatory. It's very biased. I move for immediate dismissal on those grounds. And
court overrules the motion for dismissal of the case.
Based
on
overrules dismissal of the.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear whoever's whispering at her. Now I can hear it.
And
the court will find that Miss Lesley, that the court does find it has jurisdiction to proceed, and subsequently the court
I
sets your next
object.
appearance
You called me
date.
a sovereign citizen. I object. You called me a sovereign citizen.
Yes, ma'am.
That is prejudice and bias.
No prejudice or bias is asserted as to yourself. However, the court, as opposed to trying to write down docket notes to that effect, is just recognizing what you are advising the court, that the court has no jurisdiction over you, and based on your statement made to the court. Subsequently, the court does find you've posted a $3,000 cash bond. $3,000 cash bond has been made. Court does accept the same. And the court does schedule this matter next before Judge Webster on Monday, August 11, 2025 at 9 a.m. Monday, August 11, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Webster. Once again, Monday, August 11, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Webster. You do need to participate by Zoom process at that point. Subsequently, the court finds that Miss Lesley has not requested court-appointed counsel. Court does not appoint counsel at this point. The court does find that she has posted bond in the amount of.
Oh my God! She has this. Is that the script? Oh my god!
$3,000.
Oh my god! Oh, I wish the video quality was better. Oh no! Oh no!
Cash, $3,000 cash bond. And the court has scheduled her next appearance date before Judge Webster on Monday, August 11, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Enhanced
Any other matters
arraignment
to come before the court, Mr. Sweeney?
No, Your Honor.
Nah, I'm good.
And Miss Lesley.
Uh-huh. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, she's an NFL coach. She's hiding her mouth with a script so you can't read lips.
Your Honor, my jurisdictional challenge is predicated upon multiple independent grounds, each sufficient to warrant dismissal. First,
you could say whatever the hell you want that you think it's right, but the judge already overruled you and denied your motion.
I challenge personal jurisdiction pursuant to Kansas Rule of Civil Procedure.
Ed 209. Artie, there's video of the stop. Is there? Link me. Ed, link me that.
Appear especially, not generally, and have not consented to this court's jurisdiction. The record before this court is devoid of evidence establishing proper jurisdiction over my person as a living woman rather than a legal fiction or corporate entity, as distinguished in Hale v. Hinkle in 1906, and recognizing Kansas jurisprudence. Second, I challenge subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to Kansas Rule of Civil Procedure 60-212, B1. No verified complainant from any injured party has been filed as required by KSA subsection 22-2301 in Butler County Local Rule 3.1. The perpetrated charges arise from actions of agents of the state acting under a color of law, not from a legitimate controversy between adversarial parties withstanding as required by Article 3 jurisprudence, jurisprudential principles adopted by Kansas courts in State ex rel. Morrison versus Libius. Third, I challenge territorial jurisdiction. The alleged incident occurred after I had ceased operating my conveyance and was exercising my unalienable right to travel, placing it outside the territorial jurisdiction of traffic enforcement under KSA subsection 8-244, which by its plain language applies only to licensees who have voluntarily entered the regulatory framework. Fourth, the prosecution can.
This is just the stupidest argument on the face of this planet. I don't have a license, therefore I am not bound by any traffic laws, and I can do whatever the hell I want. If that was the case, why doesn't everybody not have a license?
Not establish the corpus delicti of the alleged offenses. As held by the Kansas Supreme Court in State v. Stern in 2015, the corpus delicti rule serves as a safeguard against convictions based on false confessions or statements. One cannot interfere with a peace officer absent of officer's lawful execution of duties. Where the initial detention was unlawful, as it was here due to lack of probable cause, there can be no derivative crime or of interference. Fifth, the refusal to provide identification is not a crime in Kansas, absent specific statutory circumstances not present here today.
Yes, it is here present today. You were stopped by the officer, and I'm going to say, make an educated guess saying that Kansas law says that when you are stopped by an officer at a traffic stop, you are obligated to provide your information, either a license or whatever identifying information. And if you don't, that can be a criminal offense.
This is in support by Brown versus Texas in 1979. The Supreme Court held that detaining a person solely to obtain identification violates the Fourth Amendment absent.
If I see this video, I'm going to wager that the officer did not detain her for the sole purpose of getting identification.
Reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The principle has been recognized and applied by Kansas courts. In one moment, please, while I gather another statement.
Please wait so whoever is coaching me can give me the next couple of lines. Sorry. My God.
Okay, and another thing is, and
Law
this
dictionary.
is, may it please the court, for the record, I must now enter an oral objection and motion for disqualification of the presiding judicial
Oh, okay. She wants to.
officer pursuant to Kansas Rule 2.11 of the Code of Judicial Conduct, as well as controlling principles under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. During a prior proceeding specifically, that's proceeding, specifically, this court referred to me by the term sovereign citizen, a pejorative classification with
Okay. She's gonna say she's arguing that because he called her sovereign citizen, that's grounds of bias and therefore sufficient grounds for disqualification.
which carries with its government manufactured implications of extremism, frivolous, and legal irrelevance. This label, unprovoked and unsupported by any factual predicate, constitutes a stigmatizing judicial characterization that violates my right to a neutral and detached tribunal. The use of that term demonstrates either a prejudiced bias or a judicial predeposition toward delegating the substance of my legal posture. As the Kansas Supreme Court has held, even the appearance of partially mandates recusal, and here the record reflects actual prejudice in open court.
Okay. You done?
Wherefore, I respectfully move this honorable court to dismiss all charges with prejudice for lack of jurisdiction, issue a finding that the prosecution has failed to meet its burden of establishing jurisdiction, order the immediate return of all my property seized, including the 251 USD, confiscated and converted to a reloadable Visa card without my consent, order the expungement and permanent sealing of every associated record pursuant to KSA subsection 22-2410, award company.
Always lovely when they love to cite state law when it favors their position, but they want to completely ignore the traffic code.
Compensation for the full measure of damages sustained, including costs for my automobile window repair, bail
And
costs,
she wants to
and
get paid for her
compensation,
time.
for unlawful detention and deprivation of liberty. Grant such and other and further relief as this court deems just and proper. The breaking of my automobile window without warrant or probable cause of a chill search of my currency constitutes violations of clearly established rights for which the law provides remedies pursuant to the maxim ubi jus ibi ridium.
What the hell did you? What did she just say?
Violations of clearly established rights for which the law provides remedies pursuant to the maxim ubi jus ibi ridium.
What the? Was that supposed to be Latin?
Where there is a right, there is a remedy.
Yeah, she's probably, okay.
I reserve all rights without prejudice, waive none, and maintain my special appearance for the sole purpose of challenging jurisdiction and preserving my alienable rights as secured by the Constitution for the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Kansas. And thank you for hearing me. I do appreciate you, Your Honor. And thank you for your time.
And once again, matter is set before Judge Webster on Monday, August 11, 2025, 9 a.m. by Zoom.
We just completely
there be nothing further to come before the court. Court is in recess. And have a good day, Miss Lesley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Sweeney, that's the last case I show on the first appearance docket.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
What's the emergency? Because I see emergency lights.
All right, here it is. Here's the original video. Shout out to Van Balian.
Lights on. I'm here to help.
Or the window's gonna be busted out and you're gonna be dragged.
Is that a threat? You're gonna harm me.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
I have glass in my shoes.
Oh no.
Welcome back to the Van Balian channel, guys. Today we head to Kansas, where a sovereign citizen plays F around and find out with a no-nonsense Butler County Sheriff's Deputy.
Let me see if I can up the volume a bit.
Video is audio until the husband arrives on his unregistered motorcycle to start recording. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so it was her husband who's probably coaching her. Okay. That makes sense. I'm gonna up the volume a little bit.
You heard that right. Anyway, so we're not just looking at black screen. I've overlaid video from that part of the video, so if you can see that it doesn't match, that's why. Our SovCit duo interjects over the video every now and again, so expect that as well. Right, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, the reason why I'm stopping you probably know the tag is not a registered tag.
Oh, I'm just traveling. I'm not acting in commerce right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I get your? Is there an emergency? I saw your emergency lights on. I'm here to help.
A minute into the video, and we've already hit 2 sovereign citizen talking points. 3 if you count. I'm here to help.
Sorry.
I'm here to help. I see your emergency lights are on.
Okay. The reason I'm stopping.
Is there an emergency?
Conducting a traffic stop.
Oh, but I'm not in traffic.
Yes, you are.
Do you know what the term traffic means?
Are you a sovereign citizen? Is that what this is?
Did you say
Yeah, called her out there too.
What does that mean?
Your mom.
That sounds like a derogatory thing.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I do not. What is a sovereign citizen?
A sovereign
Your mom.
citizen is
Sorry.
someone who, as you're about to demonstrate, has a fundamental misunderstanding of the legal differences between
what
traveling
were you
and
doing
driving.
back there?
Is that
What were you doing behind my monitors?
I'm not driving. I'm
You
traveling.
messing shit
I
up?
don't need to. This is a secondary offense that you're.
I don't have to answer your
This
question.
is a secondary offense that you. What is your name and your badge number?
Is it multiple? Yeah, it's the audio that's doubling up.
What is it? I'm not getting pulled over for any reason. Okay, Corporal Barracan, and then 51.
Yep.
Okay. Are you Matthew? Are you headed here?
Matthew, that's the husband she's on the phone with. He's on his way to save her from this evil traffic stop on a motorcycle he later admits doesn't have plates.
Correct.
I don't need to provide you anything because I'm not. You're doing a secondary offense while. This is not lawful.
The audio is really low. I have the audio boosted by to 150%.
Okay. Do you know what traffic means? What's the term traffic?
He's not there to answer your misguided or misunderstood legal questions. He's there to enforce traffic laws. But I will. The term traffic is whatever the state of Kansas define it as, not where you cherry-picked it from to fit your narrative. Save your delusional argument for court, not the side of the road.
Is that a threat? What's the word traffic mean? Questions. Matthew, are you coming?
Like, I don't know why the audio's like doubled up and whatnot either. This is all on them.
I'm not making anything difficult. No, I'm not. I'm not getting one or two ways. This is unlawful. I'm cooperating.
I'm asking you for your documents. I need your driver's license and your insurance.
I don't need to provide any of that to you. I'm not acting in commerce. I'm not an Uber or Lyft. No,
better.
I don't. Why are you opening the door? Am I under arrest or am I free to go? Am I under arrest?
Whether you get
Under
arrested
arrest.
or not depends on how far you decide to take it. And from what I've heard so far, I'd say things aren't looking good for you.
Corporal 51, am I under arrest? You're not answering my questions. Scared, so I'm trying to make sure that this is open. No, I don't need to do that. I'm not getting pulled over for any reason. This is unlawful. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. His name's Corporal. I don't know what his name is. Barkin.
Yeah, when I'm in a meeting.
He seems very upset. He already said sovereign citizen. Yeah, he said, "Oh, you identify as a sovereign citizen," and I asked him to explain what that means. I have my book, and I just grabbed my thing. I already still have my other citation. What am I supposed to?
The book she's talking about is her travel binder.
My book, as in my whole travel binder, and I was gonna start going through the Eddie Craig script, but it kind of got hostile after this.
Eddie Craig's. Wait, are they being interviewed? Is that what it is? Who? Wait a minute. Who's interviewing them? I want to see this. I want to see who's interviewing them. Or is this just purely their own video or is this them commentating on their own video? Is that what it is? Is it just them? Is that what the second audio? Okay, so that's what it is. So that's why I'm hearing the other statements by her that they're running commentary on their own video. Okay.
In other words, he's not interested, nor is he required to listen to your pseudo-legal nonsense. And by hostile, you mean the consequences of your actions.
Is that a threat? You're not answering any of my questions. I don't even have a tampon. I don't have anything. Yeah, do it. Okay, yeah. I'm not getting pulled over for any reason. This is unlawful. That's my car and his motorcycle.
Hey, I saw the text.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting pulled over. Now I'm calling Quentin, the guy that had my cake container. So this is Quentin that's in the group too. By this corporal, he's calling me a sovereign citizen.
And there's that persecution complex rearing its ugly head
Oh,
again,
mad.
turning the question of are you a
So
sovereign
angry.
citizen into an accusation that he called you one. Incredible.
How dare he?
Yeah, Matthew's here and he's getting yelled at by the corporal. Take off your helmet so we can hear you. Yeah, in Andover. It's literally right where I got stopped before. It's right beside the high school, right on the other side.
Don't worry about me. Do your thing.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good.
And y'all are on private property.
Hear that, criminals? You can break the law with impunity by simply pulling onto private property.
Yeah, like that. So?
I can't believe lawyers haven't taken advantage of this loophole.
Look at this guy.
Oh, I do have his number.
How angry.
I just don't have Matthew's body.
That shirt's very tight.
Weird.
I'm calling him. I'm calling Cam.
Step away from the car. I'm not going to tell you again.
He's not. He's just a he's.
Hop out and talk to me.
No. Why do I?
Window if you don't get out.
You're gonna. Is that a threat?
I'm going to break your
Is that
Promise.
a threat? Is that a threat? You're not answering any of my questions.
I don't have to answer your question.
I don't have. I'm not getting pulled over for any reason. This is unlawful.
If driving without a valid DL, insurance, and no registration isn't a reason to pull you over, then I don't know what is.
Hey, it's your boy Cam.
Sorry, y'all. I was in a meeting.
It's okay.
But right now that he's calling his other buddies over.
What am I supposed to do? He's gonna break my window. Why are you threatening me?
Okay. This last chance.
He pulled me over for an unlawful stop. I'm just traveling.
Stop. Get out of the vehicle.
Why isn't it? Can you explain that to me?
In the state of Kansas, you have to have the vehicle registered. You have to have a valid driver's license, and you have to.
Where's the proof of that? Tell me give me the evidence. What's your badge number and your name, please?
Sergeant Tharp, and I'm sheriff number 30.
If you're driving what the state define as a motor vehicle on a public road, it's your responsibility to educate yourself on the law before doing so, not this police officer.
And what's the emergency? What's the emergency? Because I see emergency lights on.
My God, shut
Oh,
up.
the window's gonna be busted out, and you're gonna be dragged.
Is that a threat?
This
you're gonna harm me.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
It's a promise, but isn't that threatening me and my safety?
Get out of the vehicle, or we're going to get you.
I'm not doing anything
You're
wrong.
under arrest at this point.
I'm under arrest.
You're under arrest at this point.
Okay, you haven't even asked my name. You haven't asked anything.
Now
For
I'm
what?
under arrest too. For refusing.
Now, what? Who are you?
Illegal registration. Have you shown proof of insurance yet?
You haven't even asked my name. You haven't asked anything. Says the woman who has persistently obfuscated and refused to hand over documents the deputy has legally requested from her. Also, because the husband was stupid enough to ride his unregistered motorcycle to a traffic stop, he gets detained as well. Here's a clip of him explaining it.
Well, so with me, he said, so I see there's no tag here. Are you registered? Do you have a license? And I just said no. And then he said, okay, in the state of Kansas, you have to have that. And I said, well, the state of Kansas is a corporation. He's like, no. And then, and then he just grabbed my hands and turned me around, and it was just that fast. He said the other guy saw me pull in without a tag.
So it's hearsay.
Hearsay is information received from other people which cannot be substantiated, i.e. a rumour. You rode your bike up to police officers on what you've just admitted is an unregistered motorcycle.
So I'm interfering. Oh yeah, guys, prepare. My glass is about to shatter all over me. I'm still going to court for the same thing. I don't understand why this is again happening. I still have my citation from last time. I'm still going.
About citation from last time. Get out of the vehicle.
Under
arrest. Plus the fucking window. I don't give a shit.
Ooh, bust the fucking window.
I didn't do anything wrong.
And now the waterworks.
You're hurting me. I have glass in my shoes.
I've got a fantastic remedy for keeping glass out of your shoe. It's called following the law. It's surprisingly effective. Also, whose idea was it to video the deputy's crotch and handcuffs instead of the
Also
window
true.
bust?
I didn't
True.
do anything wrong.
Yeah, I yelled from over wherever I was at. I was like, Sydney, are you okay? And somehow our videos lined up so perfectly to where like the moment my video ended, hers started.
I had a small amount of video that I wanted to show, but I saw the glass coming in through my window when I turned it on. It was right after he beat through the window finally.
I'm having to do this too much.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Come off the car, okay?
I just have glass in my shoes, so I'm trying to shake them out. It's okay.
You want me to take them off? That way you get the glass out?
That's alright. I got it. You need to wipe my blade on your stuff.
He'll clean it.
Sag.
Still have bruises on my wrist.
You're gonna give me your name? You don't until I identify you either way, so
I don't
make a difference.
I don't.
To me.
You're not answering my questions.
I don't have to answer your questions. You answer my
I
questions.
thought you protect and serve us. You serve us.
Now you're breaking the law.
How am I breaking the law?
You're interfering in my investigation.
What and what?
I'm asking you to identify yourself. That's it. That's how this all started. This could have went
No,
way
you didn't.
easier.
No, you called me a sovereign citizen. That's what
And
you
you
did.
and you got triggered over that.
What? I'm a human being. What are you?
Your
I'm
mom.
not a sovereign citizen like you tell me I am.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not okay to say. Yeah, my back hurts so bad and it has glass in it.
My back
You broke
hurts.
my window for no reason. You're threatening me and you're arresting me for no reason at all. For just being human. Can't I just ride? Can't I just travel on the roads? Can't I travel on the roads for free? That's how we are supposed to be alive.
No.
Alright guys, so she was arrested for, well, in fact, I'll tell you what, let's say it from the duo themselves.
They come up with a $3,000 bond. We decided that they just play roulette, whatever their bond for what their bond will be that day. Because also that day, a mayor of the town nearby, he got arrested and was put on a $3,000 bond.
This is the four.
Look at all those the slips on that Black's Law dictionary.
The defendant is charged with the crimes: vehicle registration.
Yep.
No insurance, license
Yep.
not carried, and then interference with law enforcement officers.
Yep.
That was my crimes that I committed.
And they made her cross out under threat and duress.
Yeah, so
And
this
Yeah, because it's stupid.
is the time when, like, the paper I was signing, and I was trying to do under threat and duress, but I was so stressed out that I put under stress and duress the document I had to sign, and I was like trying to get out of there. This was after Matthew had paid the $3,000, and he was like, "Okay, I have you 3 things for you to sign," and so I signed that, and he stood up and he's like, "Go back to your cell," and I was like, "What did I do wrong? I'm just signing." And he's like, "I told you before, you do not sign under stress, the threat and duress. You're signing only your legal signature, or you're gonna stay here and be a prisoner." And I was just crying, and I was like, "What?" I was like, so I had to cross it out and sign that I crossed it out, and then after that, he forced me to sign just my name, or I would have been there forever.
So there we are, guys. Another sovereign citizen duo. F around and find out. Right, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you also to my channel members and patrons for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to support me and get early access to videos like this, then all the
Based.
Certain statutory allegations.
Nope, we're not watching that again. Let me see if I could find one last short one. Oh God. Oh, his is actually really short. All right, we'll watch Eric Martin. His is only like 8. His is only less than 8 minutes. All right. We'll watch Eric Martin.
All right, good morning, sir. Give me one moment. We're gonna wait. Your name, sir, for the record.
I'm up your Roman Sister Trust Legal Fiction Corporate Entity Defendant. That's what you want. I am one of the sovereign people.
Yes. Okay. All right. So this is for Eric Joseph Martin. And officer, can you tell me the person that's standing before you, who they've been identified as far as your records?
Yes, Your Honor. This is Mr. Eric Martin.
Okay.
I object to that any presumption that I'm a legal fiction corporate entity. I am a living man whose name is spelled capital E lowercase RIC of the capital M lowercase ARTIN family, one of the living people living on the land. Not the corporate entity defendant.
Okay, sir. All right, it's time to listen right now. Thank you and good morning. The court is calling case number 282-257-13-64001. The people of the state of Michigan versus Eric Joseph Martin. Appearances, please.
Jasmine Martin, P86378, appearing on behalf of Mr. Martin, Your Honor, who indicated that he wishes to represent himself.
No relation.
Pro se.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Martin, this is an arraignment. And it's the court, never advises the individual to represent themselves, but you do have that right. You do have an attorney that's here that had an opportunity to speak with you. What's your position as it relates to this arraignment? So you'll need to know how to follow court procedure if you want to represent yourself.
I have a motion I want to make on the matter at the bat. I'll move to dismiss based on lack of probable cause. My sister just told a lie saying I put my hands on her. I told the cops, no, I did not. That is not fact sufficient for the belief, as the U.S. Supreme Court said, and if I remember right, it's Beck versus Ohio or Ohio versus Beck. It's a U.S. Supreme Court case. Define probable cause is fact sufficient for the belief. There is no fact for the belief. There is no probable cause. I was arrested illegally. I want the cops charged also for arresting me illegally, which is assault.
Mr. Martin.
Hold on,
Mr. Martin.
It's kidnapping.
No. What we're going to do, because I want to tell you this, you could challenge the complaint. You'll have a probable cause hearing, and you'll have an opportunity to confront your sister at the preliminary examination. If she's not being truthful and the court hears that, then your matter will be dismissed if the court doesn't find probable cause. And if the court does, then the matter will be bound over. But at this juncture, I'm just arraigning you, sir. And that's all I'm going to entertain today. I'm not entertaining any motions relative to dismissal. The probable cause has been established.
I object.
It's arraignment. You can object, and your objections are noted for the record, okay? But I'm just arraigning you. I'm just gonna set a bond, and you'll challenge those matters at the next court hearing, okay?
But I have a right still to challenge it now because see, the officer filled out the complaint form. He's lying by saying he believes I committed. He can't just go off her word and say, "Oh, I believe he committed a assault or whatever or a crime." He's committed perjury just by doing that. I shouldn't even be arrested, let alone still be held here. That's what I'm saying. This is all illegal violation.
Yeah, my understanding from what people said is that he got hooked up for going to the place that he was ordered not to go to.
Due process rights. So, you shouldn't just be referring to a future date, whatever. Yes, we know that's true, but I'm saying as of right now, though, the issue is still ripe now to decide. It was no probable cause. I shouldn't have been arrested. I should be here now. The charge is dismissed. There is no evidence here.
Talk over me, Mr. Martin.
My sister has been caught lying before on video, which in another case was dismissed in my favor for her same lying self, and she was on video caught lying. This is why the judge dismissed her. So she really has no credibility.
Listen to the court right now. You'll have a chance to take care of those matters later. You'll address all those issues. The court is not trying to be rude. I'm going to arraign you. So I'm going to tell you what you're charged with. It indicates in the complaint that on 6/12/2025, for Clippard in the city of Taylor, indicates in count 1 that there was an assault or an assault and battery upon Lisa K. Martin. Sir, that is a misdemeanor that carries 93 days and/or you could be fined $500. You also have in count 2 a charge of domestic violence. That is also a 93-day misdemeanor. It indicates that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Lisa K. Martin. Again, these are just allegations. They're charges which you have an opportunity to challenge. This is an arraignment. I am going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. And
he's not going to have like that.
Officer, do you have any information relative to Mr. Martin's background?
Man, they previously had a lot of domestics with each other. He does not have any ongoing cases at this time, though.
Okay, so Mr. Martin, I understand that you were living at that location, but the court's not going to permit you to return there. You're going to have to find another place to go while these charges are pending.
That's the house I live in. I don't lose my due process right. It violates my due process. I can't live there because she makes up a lying allegation. I do not lose that right. That's my right.
You have a pretrial that's scheduled for June the 23rd. You have a pretrial scheduled for June 23rd at 9 o'clock. There is a no contact provision, and you cannot return to the Clippard location. And if you do, sir, that'll be a violation of your bond, and you will end up back before a judge in Taylor to address that. So thank you and have a great day.
Violating your oath of office, you'll be forfeiting your job. That's violating my constitutional right. I do not lose my right to be free just because someone tells a lie with no evidence. That's why I said this case is dismissed now. There is no evidence. There is no probable cause. You do not have the right to tell me I can't go here or go there or be at my only house I have a right to be at, or leave the state and all the rest of the bull crap orders you judges like to just do traditionally. Like it's okay. It's violating people's human right. It's violating our constitutional due process. You judges are going to stop this with a class action lawsuit. I'm going to make you guys stop this habit that you're doing.
Class action.
So you might stop it now. Like I said, I'm not. It's not going. You're not going to get away. You're going to get away with violating my due process rights. Telling me I can't be at my house.
I'm done with this matter. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Bro is like, what is happening here?
What is her name? Correct. What is her name?
Okay. Have a good day, Mr. Martin, sir. Take care. All right. Thank you, officer.
Bro is like, that's great. I don't know who Mr. Monroe is, but he's basically enjoying himself. All right, that's it. I honestly don't even know if I want to continue dealing with Martin. It's just it's so tired. He doesn't change. He doesn't learn, And it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. I just can't deal with that anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to continue following Martin's, like, nonsense. But we're going to stop it here. I'll be on tomorrow. Again, trying to catch up to y'all. And I might actually stream on Thursday as well. Just to get myself up to speed on everything. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for Chorn for the gifted memberships, and Hitchbot Idol for the super chats and the super sticker. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys later. Have a good night. Hit that like button. Check out my Discord. All that jazz. All right. Bye. What? Oh. Where's the ending? Where's the ending music? Oh, no. There you go. What, Mike? What do you want? What do you want? You're a little brat. You're a little brat. You're a little brat.